Hello and welcome. For China Solved, I'm Andrew Hubert, and this is the China Negotiator, episode 25, Tariffs versus Trade Wars. Hello and welcome. It is September 25th, and the United States has just levied a 10% tariff on a wide range of Chinese goods that may go up to 25% on January 1st. So this is a good time to make sure we are all on the same page as far as the terms for our new life. What's the difference between a tariff and a trade war? Well, a tariff is simply a tax. It's a tax right now, a specific tax on things that are being brought from China to the United States. It just makes everything more expensive. A trade war is a clash, and in this case, it's a clash of systems. The trade wars have a policy goal, and there are winners and losers. Well, there are definitely losers in a trade war. One or both sides are going to claim to be the winner, but you get the idea. This is a fight. You're in a trade war. We'll talk about how to manage this to your advantage a little bit later, but now you just have to understand what you found yourself in the middle of, because it's getting deeper and nastier from here. Trade tension fundamentals. Notice how I said tension there instead of trade war? That's because it's a euphemism. It's less inflammatory. And during times of trade tension, that becomes important. So let's talk about what each side wants. What does the United States want in this trade war, and what does China want? That is surprisingly tricky to explain because the principles don't really seem to agree. At the moment, the U.S. is taking a pretty hard line. In general terms, the U.S. says it is fighting for a level playing field, fair access to markets, and protection of intellectual property. China, which is claiming to be the aggressee here, claims it's merely defending its sovereign rights and developing its economy on behalf of 1.3 billion citizens. Let's look at each claim a little bit more closely. The U.S. fears displacement, and it's riding a wave of economic nationalism, feels that this is a good time to take some long overdue action against China. China is the aggressor in an economic long game. It's using state resources to compete with private U.S. businesses to the point where it's undermined big chunks of U.S. industry. China is a habitual bad actor. It's been taking advantage of international institutions like the WTO and negotiated approaches for a long time. The U.S. is overdue in acting to defend both its global position and its local industry. China, conversely, sees tariffs as just the latest round in an ongoing effort to contain her economic development. China feels that it has achieved so much in such a short time. It's raised hundreds of millions of people out of poverty and developed the second largest economy in the world, that now the established powers, the colonial powers, are getting nervous. And so this is just the latest in a part of a global effort led by the U.S. to contain China growth, undermine its success, and impoverish its citizenry. Who's right in this? Both, neither, 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. Fortunately for you and me, it doesn't matter. We didn't make the decision to start the trade war, we didn't ask for it, and now we're stuck with it. So for now, all I want you to do is take away 3 things that are going to help you make better decisions later. 1, it's a trade war. It's going on for a long time. It's not just taxes, and it's not going to be a minor adjustment. You're in this, and this is serious, so take it seriously. Number 2, your Chinese counterparts are going through the same analysis, the same calculus, and they're feeling a lot of pressure as well. So if you have a relationship with a Chinese counterpart in place, develop that and try to keep those bridges intact. And if not, you may find that this is an interesting time to try to build relationships in China, because private companies are going to be very open to the idea, whereas state-owned enterprises less so. And that brings us to number 3, the final takeaway. This is a good time to step back and assess your situation in China and decide if you want a long-term relationship with the Chinese counterparty or not. Because this is one of those situations where guanxi, where relationships and network connections either grow or get destroyed. And it's largely up to you. Thanks very much. I will talk to you again soon.